Scott Tiffany with hockey legend Glenn Sonmor. Glenn, thank you very much for taking time out today.
My pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to do This Is Your Life, Glenn Sonmor, and I'm really looking forward to this. Glenn, you've had a colorful career, and well, first off, 60 years in the game. You must feel pretty blessed about having that.
I sure am. We're very lucky when my friends, my good friends all came in and said, Glenn's our favorite guy. He's now he's living, he's over 80 years old, he's never had a real job, and he's never faxed anything. So that's quite an accomplishment, and it's true. I've never, I taught school, but I was a physical education teacher, and it was all sports, and so I've been very blessed to be able to do what I love doing all my life, and not many people get to do that. Yeah,
you were smart enough though early on to take that advice from some of your elders, just as far as and I believe. Let's go back into your youth and talk about your high school in particular. When you were let's even go further back than that. Your first days you can recall with sports. What was it like?
I grew up in Toronto, right across the street from a big thing they called Christie Pits, and it was a big pit, and there were kids playing down there all the time. And my dad was a bit of a renegade, as I turned out to be, but he was coming and gone. But so my mother always found a way to take care of us. We had three. I had a brother and a sister, and she was remarkable in that when I got into high school, I'm jumping ahead just to make this point. And after school, I should have had a job like my brother did to help. But he didn't like this too much. But she knew my great love of sport, and she knew if I was going to play football, basketball, whatever I was going to play at school, I had to stay after school and practice, and so she would never make me, and as a result, I would then, on the weekend I'd get a job, and in the summer I'd get a job, and I'd bring the money home and give it to my mother. So it worked out, but I was blessed with a wonderful mother in that. My dad was, we live our lives, and we realize people do the best they can, and he did the best he could. He'd come home. He wouldn't come home. He was a pool shark and a gambler, and he wouldn't come home until he'd made a killing, and he'd had all kinds of presents. And he'd say to my mother when he came home, her name was Kathleen, he'd say, Kath, I don't remember what we fought about, but whatever it was, I forgive you. I think that's where I started out learning to be a con artist. But anyway,
so as far as with your sports though, growing up, and you were a basketball player.
In high school, I was a leading scorer. That's going to sound like boasting, but it's the truth. I was a leading scorer in the Hamilton high school basketball, and I played kind of semi-pro baseball. I pitched and got invited to go away to, now, when I say a Yankees camp, it didn't mean you were going with the Yankees, but one of their Class D or something.
Right.
I got invitations to go away to pitch baseball, but like most of the Canadian kids, and I guess basketball was my best sport, but as a Canadian kid, where you're going to make a living if you're a good athlete is in my basketball coach told me. He said, I'm not going to, one year I played high school basketball, and I played hockey late at night and everything, and my coach, a guy named George Ferris, wonderful man, he said, Glenn, I'm not going to let you do that again, you're going to wear yourself out. And I said, well, I can't, I'm going to play at the school. And he said, well, I'm not going to let you do that. So I said, I laughed. I said, are you kidding, George? I'm not quitting basketball. I go to school. Everybody's making a fuss over me. All the women are coming, girls are coming to the game. I'm playing hockey at night at 9:30 in dirty old rink. There's nobody there. I'm playing basketball. So I played basketball until the season would be over. Then I go and play hockey some.
We're gonna take off on the next, because what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go out of Glenn's basketball career, even though he was the star, his coach is advising him to go on and play hockey. So what we're going to do is we're going to take up with Glenn starting his hockey career. Next episode, Scott Tiffany, MinnesotaHockeyMagazine.com.